Tom here, Flip Anything, USA. So this is kind of aggravating for me a little bit, but it's also really a good teachable moment. And I'm gonna wait till we got more people online here before I even get into this. So I think it was today, I shot a little bit of a video earlier today, and I was talking about how important it is to be first. I always talk about how important it is to be first. And I was talking about how important it is to be second in line when you get a property, when you get a deal going. And I think I mentioned, I think it was yesterday, I was talking about how unhappy I was, or I was talking about, yeah, that's right, that was right, pity party, millionaire pity party, right? So I'm at this is actually a house I bought about a year ago, right here. Anyways, but it's interesting because remember I tell you, be relentless. I tell you, never ever give up, okay? And I never do. And I love that I get to practice when I preach and I get to show you while I do it with the blessing of YouTube here. So I had a deal. I was sure it was going to happen, okay? And let me just explain the details on this. So I got a hold of the listing broker, like I always tell you to do, and this is really a good thing to think of, because I screwed up a little bit here. You go to the listing agent, right? And this is a property I'm buying that's far from me, far from my area in general, but I know it's a great deal. Because I'd been there recently. And I'm not talking about Napa either. But you got the listing agent. A lot of times the listing agent will make a deal with the person they represent. And they'll say, look, I want a 6% commission, but if I sell it direct, I'll take off 2%. Okay? So on a $400,000 deal, that means they're going to take off $8,000. So instead of getting $24,000, they're going to get, $16,000. Okay, on a $400,000 deal. So I feel pretty good because I got the broker, or the listing agent is going to get both sides of this, and I know he's going to reduce it a little bit. Probably he's going to give him a little bit of a break, maybe take 4% instead of 6%, because he's getting both sides. And so then, and I stayed on him. I said, man, get me a counter if there's any reason, if they have any little problem. I was trying to let them think there was a little tiny bit of room, maybe, because I don't like to let them think there's guaranteed a lot of room, because then they're just going to raise the price anyways. So I was gambling a little bit with my strategy here, and so he seemed on board. He was cool, and so he said, okay, look, I'll let you know. And then I get a message, I get an email, hey, they want to sleep on it. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. I always say time kills deals, and believe me, time does kill deals. More time that goes by, the more chances are your deal's going to hell. That's how it works. So, but you can be impatient, and you can push, and you'll scare people away too. So you got to be careful on all of it. But you'll learn this as you go. So my point is, and here's the lesson, okay? Now don't lose this. Even though I'm dealing directly with the broker, I mean with the selling agent on this thing, I know that they're going to make more money because I'm buying direct. I know that they might discount a little bit because they're buying direct. So I'm thinking, okay, good. I ain't got no worries. Somebody else brings them another deal from the outside. I'd already figured out that with my offer, that even if somebody came in at full price, it would be the same deal for the seller. The seller would have the same deal. Even if they got a full price offer from an outside person, it would be the same deal as they were getting from me with my lower offer, with my inside broker that's handling the deal and probably going to knock it down a little bit. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm safe, right? Here's what I didn't factor in, and I found out this morning. Because I wrote him and I said, hey, listen, I still want this deal. Because what happened was they slept on it, and then I called because I got tired of waiting the next morning, and he says, yeah, they took another offer. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah, sorry, and I'm like, what happened? There was a bid war, did it go up? So I texted him again today. Now this is the day after I've been told I lost the deal, okay? Because this is what I talk about. This goes to my relentless attitude, right? I never give up. And I always try to be back there. I always try to be there waiting in the wings in case something goes wrong so I can swoop in, okay? And I'm a little premature on sharing this with you, but I'm doing it. Because I don't even care. I mean, I already lost it once, so we'll see. So this is what happened. Yeah, he got another offer. And he handled it direct. So now I wasn't even thinking that I'd be dealing with somebody that has the same advantage that I have on this deal. It was about 7, 8 o'clock at night. I was going to get an answer that night. And so I really wasn't too worried about his phone ringing. Well, that's what happened is he had somebody else on the line that offered more than me, that was dealing with him, therefore made the deal even better for the sellers. So I texted him. I can't look at it because I'm talking on my phone right now with the camera that we're using. But I texted him, and I'll just paraphrase. I said, hey, I still really want this property. I said, if that buyer stumbles, call me immediately. I want to make a deal on this thing. Okay? That was this morning. I think it was this morning I wrote him that. It might have been yesterday. Well, either way, he just texted me and said, hey, Tom, the buyer's playing games. And I go, what? I go, really? And then this is when I found out. I go, well, what's the deal with this buyer anyways? I don't understand why they didn't take my offer. And I said, did you represent him? And he said, yes. He goes, I didn't represent him. He goes, but yes, I brought him the deal. The offer came directly through me. Of course, I'm a little bit pissed off at him now too. But he's got no loyalty to me. His loyalty is to the seller. So what happened was he got a little bit higher offer, and I know it wasn't going to be as good as mine because I make it so easy. I'm like, I'll close next week, all cash. Well, this person said, I got a 1031 exchange and I'm going to buy it, blah, blah, blah. Well, what they did is they didn't put their money down. They didn't put their deposit in like they were supposed to. And now they're trying to renegotiate the deal. And so I get a call. And I said, or I get the text. And he says, hey, they're starting to stumble. And what it is they're starting to pull this crap that people pull. And I don't do that. I don't renegotiate the deal after I go in. Some people are just artful at it. They go in, make a deal, and then they basically got the property tied up, and they're basically saying, hey, we're not going to do what we said we're going to do unless you lower the price. Really shitty. Well, that's what happened. And so now, so I talked to him about it, and now I'm like trying to help him. I said, okay, let's let these guys unravel their deal, but let's be careful about how we do it. Let's be careful about how we do it, because they still have the property tied up. And when somebody is going to go back in and start to try to renegotiate the deal, what you need them to do is you got to be careful, because what you want them to do is you want them to nullify the deal and send another offer over. But you need them to acknowledge that they've nullified the deal. They're not going to put their deposit in. They're not going to buy it for full price. But they'll give you this much, a little bit less. That way you can say, gotcha, and you can kill their deal and then bring in somebody better. In this case, me. Okay, so that is what's going on in this other property I have. It's going on in another state. And so I'm sharing with you what's going on while it's happening, right? That's what I try to do. But what I did was I said, look, don't let me tell you what to do, but let me share with you what to do. And that's what I told him. I said, I'm not going to be used to help you close that deal. I said, I'm not going to be used that way. So I'm not saying that, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to buy this property if they fall out, guaranteed. But I don't want you using me to fortify this hustler's deal, because what they might be doing is simply just testing the water, seeing if they'll lower the price, and then they'll buy it. They'll still buy it at the price they got, but they're just trying to get a little more. So what I told him to do, I said, look, have them say, just tell them you can't write a modification, that you need them to write something that basically says they're nullifying the existing deal they sent, but they will for sure close at, if they're willing to take a lesser price. That, so I told them, I said, tell them to write it the deal that they're nullifying the current deal, but they will go forward and close the deal if they take a lower price. The reason I told him this is because they're effectively killing the deal. That's what we need. We need the deal killed. That way I can step in, and there's no legal bounds for them. They're going to be clean. So that's what's happening. Just sharing it with you as it happens. I was in a shitty mood, when I wrote that Millionaire Pity Party, and now I've got a chance to maybe recoup, maybe get that, cheer myself up here and make that margin that I was hoping to make on this deal. And I've got a couple deals going already, as you know, but I'm just kind of sharing with you. If you don't follow me, say so. Do you understand what I'm talking about, those of you that are watching? And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is pearls I'm giving you, I'm telling you. You couldn't have a better mentor than me. I'm free and I'm real. Okay, cool. I'm glad you got that. Hey, Fosh, good to hear from you. It's very important. It's a very, very litigious world, And I've been in a lot of deals. Good. Glad to hear it, man. Yeah, and if you don't, I don't mind. If you tell me you don't get something, I'll explain it to you. Because I know I don't articulate things the best that I can sometimes. But it's a litigious world, and people are paranoid, and they should be. And you got to be very careful. It's always worse for the buyer. It's always worse for the seller. The seller, they got to be really careful in who they agree to sell their property to, because people can tie them up for months and not do anything, and then they feel weak, and then maybe they will compromise in a way that they really don't feel like they should or need to, and they shouldn't. And but of course I'm biased in this situation because I want the damn deal. Anyways, I'm excited though. I was out at the lake a little while ago. I got some footage I'm going to share with you. I went back and shared with Randy, my barber. It's kind of a neat, fun deal. For some reason, I'm having trouble uploading that stuff. But I'm gonna have maybe $500,000 to $800,000 to play with here pretty soon. And I don't know if I'm gonna roll that in with a 1031 and buy something big, or maybe what you'll see me do is I'll just take that money and I'll just start flipping houses, and I might even lower my profit expectations just a little bit, but I'll flip this stuff much quicker, and it'll be a good example for you to see, kind of go into my Fast and Furious deal, right? Flip, 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 rather than buy and hold. I've always got especially when I'm paying cash for things. Okay, what do we got here? Yes, so I didn't see the whole thing, but yeah. When you make an agreement to make, at a price, that's the price. That's the price. Thank you for talking. Good, good. So I'm going to get on subject here again. So the question was about nullifying the deal. Yeah, what you need. Listen. If you just told this other buyer that's buying, if you told him to just say, hey, I need you to cancel the contract, he'd be alert. He'd be like, oh shit, they want me to cancel the contract. It's going to make him want it. Okay? He's going to think, oh, they got another buyer. But if you tell him, look, nullify, doesn't sound like cancel, does it? Nullify your previous offer, softer words, a little different, means the same thing. Okay? Nullify your agreement and tell us that you will pay X, a lower amount. But we're not doing it for that lower amount. We're doing this to void it. We're doing this to cancel the agreement because they're insincere in their offer in the beginning. And, I tell you about this. One time I had a guy that burned me. I like the guy, nice guy. We did a lot of business. I trust him for 10 grand. And I said, man, when are you going to pay up? He didn't pay up. I'm like, whoa. And he said, oh, he goes, you already made so much money, Tom. Why do you even care? Well, I do care. I do care. I do care because I gave you a deal and you owe me 10 grand. And the only thing that's different is I didn't put it in writing. And some people feel like they can screw you at anything as long as it's not in writing. It's fair game. And so what happened was, is I had a deal I was selling him, and he had 90-day escrow. He had a 90-day escrow, right? And so this was like a deal that was started on January 15th. January, February, March, April 15th. Supposed to close April 15th. He thought. He said 90 days. Well, while we're in this deal where he's buying this from me and he has to close it on the 90th day, he burns me for the $10,000. But he still wants to buy this piece of land that we're doing. And this particular nationality of person, they are notorious for closing on the last day. Now, you can say whatever you want to say about me. I know I deal with a lot of different nationalities. These folks like to close on the last day. And I thought, okay, here's why. I knew in his mind, he was probably thinking 3 months meant from the 15th to the 15th. But remember, there's 31 days in January. So really, he had to close on the 14th, okay? So what I did is I just sat there and waited and waited and waited till we got near the time, and maybe I even led him to believe, hey, yeah, don't forget, you got to close on the 15th. You got to close on the 15th, okay? Verbally, okay? Now, reminding him, okay, hang on, Fosh. So now what happened was, he's all ready to close this thing on the 15th. So the day before the 15th, which is the 14th, which unbeknownst to him is the 90th day, because there's 31 days in January, I write in as soon as that office opened, I said, cancel the deal. This deal is canceled. They were supposed to close yesterday. Or there was, and so I canceled the agreement. Actually, I canceled it the morning he was going to bring in his money. I take it back. I canceled it on the 15th. I said, this deal is canceled. It's 91 days, and time is of the essence. I always put that in my contract. Time is of the essence. So I killed this deal on the 91st day, and he comes in to bring his money, and he says, what do you mean, 90 days? And then they had to tell him, well, Tom reminded us that there's 31 days in January. And he's like, ah! And so he comes, what are we doing? Why you do this, Tommy? Why? And I said, you know what? We can fix this with $10,000. Or maybe I made it $20,000. I can't remember now, to be honest. It's been so long. But I got my 10 grand is my point. And you know what? I wouldn't have done that otherwise. I would have just let it go. But I had a legal right to nullify or void the agreement. Now, Fosh, the reason in this situation, you may have to rewatch this again. The reason we want this guy to nullify his agreement is because he's canceling his own contract. That opens the door for me to step in and buy this thing and give them more money. And that's what I'm basically said. I said, look, get that thing nullified. This is how I would do it if I were you. Call me as soon as you get it nullified. I'll come in and close this deal next week. So that's where we're at. And it was a good thing because I made sure that we had a written agreement completely ready to sign, and they have it. And all I'm waiting for is those signatures, and we'll go. Because my deal was close this deal 7 days after the seller's acceptance of my offer. And so what they're going to do is they're going to change my offer, make it a little bit more. They're going to sign it. They're going to sign it back to me as if it's a counter contract or a counter offer. And I'm going to sign it, and we're going to close this damn thing. And I'm going to be in a better mood. Instead of making 50 grand, I'll make 40, because I'm paying about 10 grand more than I wanted to. Actually, yeah, right in there. So anyhow, I just want to share that with y'all. And if you got any other questions, go ahead and shoot. Otherwise, I'm going to kill it right now. Of course, I may be just as aggravated. This can still end in failure for me, just so you know. But I opened the door a crack. I got my foot back in the door. That's it. I've got my foot back in the door. Okay? And I'm telling you exactly how I'm doing it. You're never going to find anybody with my experience that's as honest and straightforward and live while I'm doing it. But this is what I want to share with you. because this is real. This is real. So many of these guys that I see talking real estate talk, they don't know what they're doing. They've never done it. They may have bought a house or two, but they don't have my experience, and they're charging. They're charging for what they supposedly know. Okay. Okay. Is fourth court a good time? It doesn't matter, dude. Fosh. Listen, there are no bad properties. There's just bad deals. There is no bad times. There's just bad deals. Anything you buy, he asked, is fourth quarter a good time to buy? Listen, any time is a good time to buy. It's based on what the property's worth. It's always based on what the property's worth. Listen, you may have less competition shopping right now, and I'll tell you why. It's not a bad question. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad question, except understand, it's never a bad time to buy. There's only bad, you just don't want a bad deal. As long as you have a good deal, it doesn't matter when you get the good deal. That doesn't matter. So, but as far as fourth quarter, I wouldn't say quarter, but I can tell you, as you get closer to Thanksgiving, like we are, and as you get closer to, just Christmas, people start to worry about things like, oh, we got to go see family. Oh, we have family coming in. We got to clean up the house. People don't rent as much as you get near December, and people don't buy and sell as much as you get near December. Now, they get in a hurry to close before then, like about right now, or actually even earlier than now. But in general, they start to think about, mom and dad are coming, or the kids are coming, or we got to go somewhere. But they start worrying about cleaning up their place and, painting and whatever. Family comes every couple of years or whatever the deal is. Okay, so let me read here. Hey, thanks, John. Always appreciate your input and your kind words too. But anyhow, that's what's happening. So it actually put me in a little bit better mood. Of course, like I said, I still haven't killed this thing. I still don't have a contract, is my point. But hopefully, tomorrow around 10 a.m. I'm gonna. And as soon as I know, you're gonna know. Okay? And then we're gonna go walk. Well, then we're gonna go talk about that property. And so that's what's happening. So please subscribe, please share. Man, I am falling way short. I'm trying to get 1,000 people to sign up for that free app that I'm going to give away. Yes, I built several homes. Yes. The question was, have I ever built any homes? I've built industrial buildings, commercial buildings. I've built houses. In fact, I was just talking to somebody about that. I've got, I still got some properties that I can build some homes on, and I still have some properties that I can build some commercial property out on. And then I've been debating on, I'm actually trying to find some more. Actually, remember, talking about being second, I've got something. I was called an agent several times today, finally got a hold of her. She's got 15 acres I really wanted. She put a sign on the property, and it was already sold when she put the sign on it, which really pissed me off, because I called on it. I'm like, what do you mean it's sold? The sign went up 10 minutes ago. She said, I know, we already have a sale pending. But I'm crossing my fingers that that deal falls apart too. Because if that one falls apart, that's a beautiful deal. I'll explain why. Whether I get it or not, I'll explain why. All right, man. Thanks, man. Glad to have you on board. You won't be sorry, I promise. And since you're new here, be sure to go to send me an email, tom@flipanythingusa.com, and write Android or iPhone in the subject line. I'm going to be giving everybody a free gift for their smartphone, and it's going to make it easier for you to make money. And that's a promise. That's a promise. So be sure to do that. And if you guys can, please share it. Just share my channel. Get people to come join and subscribe. I'm going to give that app away when I hit 1,000 emails. And I'm far short of it right now. But also, you might see me monetize my video, and I want you to understand, I don't want any money from you folks at all. I have zero interest, but I want you to understand that my research is telling me that if I monetize the video, my video becomes more important to YouTube, because they're making a little bit of money on the people that, click on the ads. And you guys can skip them, you can always skip them. But just so you know, don't think I'm doing it for money. I'm doing it for ratings, okay? But it might be a necessary evil that I have to go through, is to monetize the videos in order to make them rank higher. Because what will happen is, Like when people search, real estate mentor, or gee, I want to learn how to buy real estate. I don't come up high on the list like I should, but my understanding is I get better SEO, which is, if you don't know what SEO means, that's search engine optimization. So I get better SEO. I get put higher up on the list, so that when on the front page, the first page, that sort of thing, or that's where I want to be. But you have a better chance of getting there when they have something to potentially gain, which is advertiser money. So that's what's going on. So always appreciate your input. I know we got a lot of sharp people out there that do different things. I like all your ideas. There is no dumb questions. I always tell my boys, man, don't ever worry about raising your hand. Even if you feel like you're going to look dumb, raise your hand in class. If you don't understand, ask. And let me tell you, even at my age, I still have somebody uses a word that and I know a lot of smart people. I mean, very articulate. I think I have more money than most of them, by far. But I have a lot of friends that are very articulate. Lawyers and other kinds that have a lot of money, or not a lot of money, but they're very smart, very articulate. And so, and once in a while they'll get into they'll say a word. I'll say, hey, what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, some people be too embarrassed to say that. Okay. Never be, because listen, that doesn't make who you are just because you don't know what a word is. You know what I mean? And I'm a pretty articulate guy, don't get me wrong, but my bottom line is, if you don't know something, raise your hand, make a comment, ask. Don't be afraid. It doesn't matter. Don't feel embarrassed to ask a question. I want you to understand what I'm talking about. I want you to understand, and or just comment after the video, or you can even send me an email, and I'll make another video if I have to, or just like I say, but sometimes I just say, just watch the video again, you'll figure it out. But listen, it's too important, and like I said, I tell my kids, raise your hand in school. If there's something you don't understand, don't be afraid to raise your hand. You have to tell them, get your skills, man. You got to get your skills. Get your skills while you're in school. Get your skills while you're watching my channel. Anyways, I'm going to let it go with that, guys. I'm feeling pretty good. Hopefully, I'm going to get some good news here. Maybe we'll get that nullification tonight. That would be awesome. So have a great day, and Flip Anything USA. Share, subscribe, and be sure to go like my videos, and go like some of the old ones maybe if you haven't gone back and liked them already. And whatever. I'll keep plugging them.